We have better maps of Mars than we do of our own ocean floor. Let that sink in. We've sent telescopes billions of miles into space, landed rovers on distant planets, and photographed galaxies 13 billion light-years away. Yet 80% of Earth's ocean remains completely unexplored, unseen, and unmapped. The deep ocean covers more than half of our planet's entire surface. It holds 97% of all the water on Earth. And lurking in its darkness are ecosystems so bizarre, so extreme, so utterly unlike anything on land, that scientists genuinely use them as models for what life might look like on alien worlds. Tonight, we're not going to space. We're going somewhere far stranger. We're going down. To understand the deep ocean, you need to feel its scale, because numbers alone don't do it justice. The average depth of the ocean is 3,688 meters. That's over 2 miles of crushing black water above your head. But the deepest point, the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, plunges to nearly 11,000 meters. 11 kilometers straight down. If you dropped Mount Everest into the Mariana Trench, its summit would still be more than a mile underwater. The pressure at that depth is over 1,000 times the pressure at sea level, enough to instantly crush a human body, collapse your lungs, and implode any unprotected container. Only 3 humans in history have ever reached the very bottom. 3. Compare that to the 12 people who have walked on the moon. Sunlight penetrates ocean water to roughly 200 meters. That's the sunlit zone, where most of what we think of as ocean life exists. But below 200 meters, the light begins to die. By 1,000 meters, you are in absolute, total, permanent darkness. A darkness so complete that not a single photon from our sun has ever touched those waters. This region is called the Midnight Zone, and it covers more living space than all of Earth's forests, deserts, and grasslands combined. No photosynthesis, no seasons, no concept of day or night. Just cold, black, infinite pressure. For a long time, scientists believed nothing could possibly live here. They were spectacularly wrong. The Midnight Zone is teeming with life. Just not life that plays by any rules we recognize. The creatures of the deep ocean look like they were designed by a nightmare. The anglerfish dangles a bioluminescent lure from its head to attract prey in the blackness, and its jaw unhinges so wide it can swallow animals twice its own size. The barrel-eye fish has a completely transparent head, and its tubular eyes rotate inside its skull to track prey above it. The giant isopod is essentially a pill bug the size of a football, a roly-poly that grew to monstrous proportions under the crushing deep. The fawn-toothed fish has teeth so large it can never fully close its mouth. And then there's the siphonophore, a creature that isn't really a creature at all, but a colony of thousands of individual organisms acting as one, stretching up to 45 meters long, making it potentially the longest animal ever recorded on Earth. In 1977, scientists diving near the Galapagos Islands in the submersible Alvin expected to find a barren, lifeless seafloor. What they found instead changed biology forever. Erupting from cracks in the ocean floor were hydrothermal vents, chimneys of superheated water blasting out at temperatures exceeding 400 degrees Celsius. That water should be steam, but at those pressures, it stays liquid. And surrounding these scalding towers of mineral-rich water was an explosion of life. Tube worms stretching 2 meters tall, ghostly white crabs, clams the size of dinner plates, all thriving in complete darkness with zero sunlight, zero photosynthesis. The entire food chain was powered not by the sun, but by chemosynthesis, microbes eating chemicals from the Earth's own crust. This single discovery rewrote the definition of life. If life can thrive here, it can thrive almost anywhere. Those hydrothermal vent ecosystems have a direct connection to one of the biggest questions in science. Where did life on Earth actually begin? For decades, the leading theory pointed to warm, shallow pools struck by lightning. But the discovery of deep-sea vents gave birth to a compelling rival theory, that life started in the dark, deep, chemical-rich environment of the ocean floor, with no sunlight required. The chemistry is eerily right. The vents produce hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and minerals in combinations that could spontaneously assemble the building blocks of life. Some of the oldest microbial fossils ever found are consistent with chemosynthetic bacteria. We may owe our entire existence not to the sun's warmth, but to the scalding darkness 2 miles beneath the sea. The cradle of life might be the most inhospitable place on the planet. Below the midnight zone lies the abyss, and below even that, in the deepest ocean trenches, is the Hadal zone, named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. And it earns the name. The Hadal zone exists only in the deep trenches carved into the ocean floor, places like the Mariana, the Tonga, and the Philippine trenches. The pressure here doesn't just crush, it fundamentally changes chemistry. Water molecules themselves behave differently. Yet researchers pulling samples from Hadal depths found amphipods, small shrimp-like creatures, living in enormous numbers at 10,000 meters. And they were contaminated. Inside these animals, living at the deepest point on Earth, scientists found persistent organic pollutants, PCBs and flame retardants, at concentrations 50 times higher than crabs living in heavily polluted rivers in China. Human pollution has reached the bottom of the world. Here's where the deep ocean stops being just fascinating and starts becoming cosmically important. Right now, orbiting Jupiter is a moon called Europa. It has a frozen surface, but beneath that ice, scientists believe there is a liquid saltwater ocean, warmed by tidal forces, potentially containing hydrothermal vents on its floor. Sound familiar? Saturn's moon Enceladus actually vents water vapor into space, confirming a subsurface ocean. And Titan has liquid oceans of methane. When NASA designs missions to search for life on these worlds, they study Earth's deep ocean as the template. The creatures at our hydrothermal vents are the most relevant analogs we have for extraterrestrial life. The alien world we've been searching the stars for might have been right beneath our feet, beneath our boats, all along. The ocean isn't just alien. It's a preview. We've spent over 70 years and trillions of dollars exploring space. The entire floor of the moon has been mapped at high resolution. We've sent 200 spacecraft beyond Earth's atmosphere. But the total number of humans who have reached the deepest point of our own planet? 3. The entire floor of Earth's ocean has been mapped at a resolution roughly equivalent to a blurry satellite image. We know mountains and trenches exist, but we can't see individual features. Every time we send a submersible to a new deep-sea location, we discover species that have never been seen before, every single time. The deep ocean is the last great frontier of Earth, and it is screaming with undiscovered life, unknown chemistry, and answers to questions we haven't even thought to ask yet. We are living on a planet we barely know. The deep ocean humbles us in a way that space never quite does. Space is empty. The deep ocean is full of life that refuses to follow rules, full of chemistry that defies expectations, full of darkness that somehow generates light, full of pressure that somehow sustains biology. 95% of the living space on this planet is ocean. Most of it is deep, most of it is dark, and almost none of it has been seen by human eyes. We call this planet Earth, but perhaps we should call it ocean. Because that is what it is, a water world, mysterious and ancient, hiding more secrets in its depths than we may ever fully uncover. The next time someone tells you we've already explored everything there is to explore, remember, there is more unknown ocean below us than stars we can see above us. And we've barely started. Subscribe for more mind-blowing facts every week.